Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I covered 9 levels that were selected randomly, so in this part, I'll be covering 5 or 6 viewer-submitted levels, starting out with this one. Don't play this level, troll level, vote down, by Joe, 11 plays and a score of 2. And based off the name, this will be a troll level, so I expect a lot of gotcha moments and unfair placement of enemies and spikes. After all, that's what I expect out of troll levels and Kaiser levels. And as always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a part like this one, please leave the level name or level ID in the comment section below, or direct message me on Twitter. And as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. And boy, this seems to be a longer level based off the loading times. Really wish the engine would eventually implement the number screen count. Let's see, we start out here. Whoa, we start out right in front of a red force beam generator. Fitting because of the troll level. And I didn't jump before turning on the magnet beam, of course. Let's try doing this again, shall we? And I put it too high. Well, this is definitely befitting of a troll nature, putting us immediately over death spikes, or dangerous territory. Let's take the left route and see what it has to offer. Yep, there's probably something here, and I was right. M-Tank. If I went into those, if I fell in a checkpoint over there, I would have instantly died from all the force beams, that's for sure. And I didn't realize that if you switch direction while on the conveyor belt, it'll turn off the magnet beam. That's neat. I'm gonna try one more time, then I'll move on to somewhere else. Wow, that was fast. Let's whoa. Well, at least I got 2 E-tanks for my troubles. Those I think will be useful for the future parts of this level. I almost keep forgetting that there are red force beams over there. I better be on my toes because I expect there to be a lot of gotcha moments like these. If I didn't react quickly enough and damage boosted off of the shield attackers, I would have died from the red force beams or the spikes. At least I have the Mega Man 5 or 6 charge shot. Oh. Just another M-Tank. Sure, let's use the M-Tank, and then recollect the new one, and then die. After all, I did waste some magnet beam energy, so let me take the alternate route this time. Oh, and I jumped at the wrong point. I need to position my jump height just at the right point, so I'm positioned high enough so I can drop the magnet beam without it being over those, well, the lasers. Oh, there's another M-Tank over there. And based off of Joe's other levels, I suspect this level will have a lot of alternate pathways and multiple exits. Of course, some of them will just lead to instant death based on the troll nature. This isn't that bad, actually. I mean, sure we have a wall of all these beaks, but they're easily dealt with. So if we really get stuck, we can always just farm magnet beam energy, which I do appreciate. I wonder where this teleporter takes me. Oh, right back over there it seems. Okay, I better be on my toes so I don't activate a checkpoint that's positioned just before my latest positioning. aka I don't want to undo my progress by picking the wrong checkpoints. Or starting at the earlier checkpoints, so I gotta be careful. I always think there's going to be a... Oops, I should have been a bit more careful there. I always will think there's going to be a sliding block here, or a place to slide, based off of the first part of the stage. Especially in troll stages like this one. Okay, let's quickly take the one route and see what it has to offer. And this was the correct route, good. Let's take 2 this time. Was it the right one? It was. No, it wasn't, I just skewered myself on the spikes. Expect there to be a lot of deaths in this level. In fact, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to cover 6 levels in this part. Oh, phew, I made it by holding left. I totally expected there to be some spikes on the wall over here, but no, the developer is a bit more on the kind side. I don't expect this kindness to last, though. Especially because I missed the checkpoint. I was expecting that to happen. Oh yeah, I totally forgot I actually have the magnet beam. Silly me. So I can do something like this and circumvent the challenge. Thank you for the restoration there, and oh, red force beams. Well, I see nowhere else to go other than down. Gotta be a bit careful there so I don't end up skewering myself into spikes. I half expected there to be something. Also, I'm not sure if the Chargeman music is appropriate for this type of stage, but I suppose it's supposed to be more ironic. Also, if I took the left route over there, I would have died. Thank you for alerting me of that meme. I don't need the meme letters right now. What I would like is a checkpoint. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. If I held right over there, I would have died instantaneously. After all, we gotta be careful of all the gotcha moments in this stage. There's gonna be a ton of them. Oh, I should have turned the other direction so I would get knocked back onto the magnet beam there. Alright, take 4 of this. I decided to make the other takes off screen because of my failures. Now I need to get across, but the main problem is all the Pukapellis. So if I can position myself just right, I can survive, like stuff like this. That way I can skip past all of the Pukapellis. And we're taken to a teleporter right back over here. Is this the intro screen again? Let me go to the left. Nope, it's not the intro screen. I'm not gonna be fooled by this troll maneuver where this is actually a different screen in its entirety. It just looks like exactly like the first screen, but in reality it isn't. Let me go to the right and see what it has to offer. Again, something like this. I'm gonna keep going to the right because I don't know what's gonna be up there. I expect that to lead to a bottomless pit, that's for sure. What I would really like is a checkpoint. You know, whoa, I almost stepped right into that. I really need that checkpoint. I'll be forced to use the magnet beam in order to get out of it. But still, at least the checkpoint placement of the stage, even though it's more trollish, is rather fair. Even though I've died a lot in this stage. And that was a troll ladder, just led to a bottomless pit. I will need to see this level in the level editor to see fully how far it goes. And what other secrets I didn't find. And as always, there's always probably a... Okay, everything down there is a bottomless pit. Good to know. As always, because of how this stage has taught me already, whenever you can't walk into the next screen, try sliding into it because there's probably something of use there. It probably moves on to the next screen. Let's go up here and see what it has to offer. Force beams, of course. I'm going to probably be checking almost every one of these screens to make sure there isn't something more to the right. Okay, taking the upper route here was the correct option, otherwise I would have fallen right into the force beams. Only problem is dealing with these Pukapellis, though. Of course, Yoku blocks. What else would there be? I'm not gonna take any chances, I'm gonna use an E-tank right over here. Oh, I was expecting it to be a lot more jerkish. Never mind. And there's a teleporter right over there. But before I take... Of course, they would put spikes off screen. I was half expecting there to be another point to go forward, but no, just spikes. Alright, I'm back over here. Thank goodness the weapon energies refill or restock after dying. Otherwise, this stage would become almost next to impossible if you're not careful. And at least all of these blocks are solid. Just imagine if it was like McGamel, and you had the option of making some of the blocks not solid. Oh, we're sent right back to the beginning now. Okay. And their spikes right off screen. You know what? I think I'm gonna restart the stage and take an alternate pathway. If I get stuck, I'll just probably use the level editor to get past or something. Okay, I made it past this time, so let's slide through. Of course, there were spikes over there, why wouldn't there be? I think there's an alternate pathway down there, but I didn't want to try. Okay, note to self, for this pathway, always slide before going on the conveyor belt so you don't instantly die to something. To off-screen spikes, that is. Nope, there's nothing down there, so I'm gonna try taking the pit over there and see where it leads to. They come faster than what I expect to react. Okay, down we go. Yeah, that was the M-tank. And I just got glitched into the wall. Good for me, I suppose. Well, I guess that results in another stage reset. Okay, there's one more pathway I can take, so let's try it out. Okay. That didn't happen before. Oh, I guess my vertical momentum was too high when falling. Then again, I could fall directly down there, but I think I already know what pathway it leads to. So let's try going this way. This is where that pathway leads up to, of course. We already did this pathway, so... I guess over here? This leads back over here, Where should I go then? Okay, falling down there is rather glitchy. Well, I'm stumped. I think I explored the most of the stage I could, so I'll get back to you in the level editor to see what I'm missing. Yeah, I'm hanging my flags up here. You win this round, Joe. Alright, I'm in the level editor. Let's see what this level's secrets has to offer. The left route doesn't seem to lead to anywhere other than those two E-tanks and that M-tank. So that's a dead pathway. So let's see what else we have. We actually have a secret ladder over here that leads to the stage exit. I wonder where this teleporter comes from. I'll be taking a look at that. Let's take the right route and see what it has to offer. Oh, you're supposed to jump over it off screen in order to pass. I should have tried that out. Okay, we have a pathway over here, and this leads down the same pathway we took before. And here's an entirely new pathway I never saw before. Oh, that's a bit too far off from what I expected. There's a whole bunch of level I didn't even get to explore by not jumping over there and because those spikes were off screen. I should have been more experimental, that's for sure. And of course, some of these teleports lead right into spikes. Yeah, like that one leads directly to an M-tank, and that one leads all the way back over here, I suppose. Yeah, that does. This leads to an M-tank, and this one leads to the next pathway, which then proceeds onwards here, here. Okay, this will push you upwards, but you have to keep running right and right and right and right, with no ends in sight other than those 3 tellies, and, well, you're stuck over here and forced to restart. Alternatively, how do you access this point? LOL. LOL. Ah, sorry for the skip over there, that's engine problems, especially because of how big this is. Yeah, I know I'm cheating, because I'm using the level editor. This level bested me, that's for sure. Oh, and this is the pathway which I linked back up to, and... I thought I went down this ladder, didn't I? No, I didn't. There's just so much of the stage I didn't get to see. My apologies, Joe. It's just that the stage bested me. That's why I'm never really good at troll levels. I'm better at traditional levels that are less non-standard. Gosh, this is one of those places where I wish I had a minimap. In order to fully take in this level, you'll need to open up the level editor yourself and play it. It's really expansive, and it's befitting of Joe's status after all. He's always made levels that have alternate pathways and are very expansive, and this one still matches that's for sure, just with a lot more of a trolley background, or trolley style. Even then, that's another way of saying meme, that's for sure, mega meme. But even then, it seems well designed with a lot of creativity and a lot of different room structures and enemy placements. You can easily get quite lost in this stage, like I did. So I guess that's a good work, Joe. Off screen I give this stage a thumbs up because it's so well designed and so well expansive, but I think you'll get a better reception for someone who loves to play patrol levels more. This has a lot of winding paths for sure. Oh, that's how you get to the exit. Of course you have to be really fast so you don't get killed by the force beams. Or of course you can jump on that one ladder. Again, another freeze. This stage goes on and on and on. But this is the part where you actually finish the stage. You need to explore a lot through blind jumps with all of these caterpillars and whatever the other enemy is before you can end the stage over here. Even then you can end up falling right into the spikes. And the stage keeps going on forwards too. Well, this was certainly a unique stage though. Shame that I was only able to explore probably only 20 to 25% of the stage due to me overlooking that one pathway. It's really expansive, well designed, and I give it a thumbs up, although I think people who like troll levels more or more non-standard level designs will prefer this a lot more. For that reason, I'd probably give this a 6 or 7 out of 10 in terms of quality. Second level on this viewer submitted lineup is Kill the Wabbit by Corndog, 12 plays and a score of 0. This isn't the level I mentioned earlier, which was the expansive one. That's the next one actually. At least that's what I hope. I don't know about this stage. The creator of the next stage, Panta35, warned me about the level being really expansive, but that's coming up soon anyway. Okay, Mega Man 5 Charge Shot I think. Yep. I realized that the Mega Man 5 and 6 Charge Shot are visually different now. Okay, Search Snake and Top Spin. And thankfully we actually have special weapons to use, instead of utilities like the Magnet Beam. Boy, that previous stage really drained my energy. Hopefully there aren't any more really well-defined and expansive troll levels. That's definitely going to be an honorable mention. If the frogs dealt a lot more damage per hit, specifically the smaller ones, I would use special weapons immediately. After all, as I repeatedly stated throughout this LP, the Croakers aren't as bad as their Mega Man Endless counterparts. Those were painful to deal with. Oh my goodness, they were one of the reasons why I started to hate Croakers so much, more so than the Sniper Joes. Okay, I guess this is a large spike rock segment. Kind of a jerk maneuver to put a shield attack over there, but okay. Almost dead again, oops. Really would like some life pickups. Oh no, that's gonna be a problem. And I forgot I don't have access to sliding. Oh well, at least the checkpoint is right over there at the top of the tower, so I'm not complaining too much. Well, that's a unique way of having a drop, one with a lot more horizontal movement. And also putting the rapid over there can be a little bit annoying to hit. Especially because we don't have a special weapon that deals enough damage to hurt it as much as I would prefer. Oh, we need to bounce off the big eyes here. That's neat. Let's go down here and see what it has to offer. Okay, some poles. Those actually will be really helpful for restocking on energy, assuming I can actually make one of these poles drop energy. Good to know that this stage has multiple pathways, though. And no hidden spike drops, thankfully. Oops. I see what they want me to do over there. not bonk my head against the ceiling, that's for sure. Good checkpoint placement. I'm gonna use that, of course. Might as well when I'm so low on health. Where am I supposed to go? Is there a ladder off screen? If not, well, I'm just gonna backtrack back to the big eye room. After all, I can, especially with the top spin. That's probably it. And that was just a safety checkpoint for more cautious players. I swear there's something on the right. Unfortunately, I don't have the access to sliding, so it's a lot more difficult to access. Oh, and there was a checkpoint right over there. I'm not sure what that left pathway was for then. Unless there was a hidden ladder over there. Oh, failed that miserably. Okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. I wonder how far this leads up to, though. Oh, I completely fell through all these springs. That's really hard to get over there. Especially with the batons. I want to try getting the batons to fly upwards, so I can reach that area. And that happens instead. Never mind, I can already manually reach it. I hope this leads to something good, like an alternate pathway. A lot of lines of enemies here. Is this like an airship? It seems to be. Gosh, I really wish I had sliding in this stage. That would be super helpful. Nope, apparently this was an alternate pathway onto the airship. We would then fall down. Okay, I didn't expect to fight Crashman right over here. That's neat. What's his weakness? Doesn't matter, okay. Okay, it's a top spin. And my practice of dodging Crashman is already as bad as it was. That's the end of Kill the Wabbit. I swear there's an alternate pathway, but because I'm strapped for time, I won't take a look at it. But still, it's a pretty nice stage, pretty well designed, a little bit more on a fortress level near the end, because of the forced usage of the top spin, or rather I felt like it was forced. It was still pretty fun, at least a 6 out of 10, so I'll give this a thumbs up. Good work, Corndog. Third level on this viewer-submitted lineup is Mega Raider by Panta35, 10 plays and a score of 0. This was the level I was referring to that was really long, because it has 4 alternate pathways, as Panta warned me in advance. I'll start out with the easier pathways and then I'll take the harder ones. So this stage will have 4 playthroughs. With all of these stages, I'm not even sure I'll be able to cover 5 levels in this part. Well, but we'll see. Also, we have infinite usage of the perfect freeze at least, so we can fight off enemy spam pretty easily. I want to really try accessing the E-tank over there. And completely fail because I didn't see the teleport over there. I didn't realize I could just make the jump. Okay, off to a not so good start. At least I can spam everything, so all these enemies are a piece of cake. Except maybe the more durable ones, but still, I can kill them faster than they can hurt me. So sorry about the snow sound effect in the background, or spamming sound effect. Okay, the enemies who still cause problems are the shielded ones. but most of the other ones will be a piece of cake, of course. Like the croakers, for example. I'm decimating them completely. Of course, the only things that are a slight problem are, of course, the shield attackers. Oh no. This is one of those places where using that was a bad idea. Well, I can now use the windstorm at least. And it's rather effective against the shield attackers. Only 2 hits will do them in. That's... okay, so the windstorm is a really effective weapon for that. Here's the first split, or the first fork. In order to take the easier route, I'll be taking the upper fork. I don't think I really need the E-tank right now, but for the alternate pathway, I surely will. And I forgot I have access to the Firestorm as well. Oops. Gotta be a bit careful here so I don't end up destroying the ground beneath me. And do quick weapon switches everywhere in order to survive. We have a lot of really powerful weaponry that we don't actually need the Firestorm. After all, the Perfect Freeze works well more so than others, excluding stuff like the shield attackers, but for that we have the Windstorm. This is more for enemies who are hard to hit or are directly above me. There we go. And this is more of like a fortress level because of all the forced weapon usage. Gotta be a bit careful so I don't destroy the ground. So quick weapon switching will do the trick. Let's go down over here. And this is the second fork. For this one, I'll have to take the right route. I noticed in advance thanks to Panta35's advice on Twitter. Thank you, Panta. Really appreciate it. Also, I do like that the stage actually has a lot of places where you can refill your weapon energy, which is especially crucial because this is a forced weapon usage stage. So thank you, Panta. That's a sign of good level design. Wow, I thought I was gonna die right over there. I thought I was gonna end up embedded into the ceiling spikes or falling in the bottom's pit over there. Lucky. Also, great checkpoint placement, that's for sure. There's always a checkpoint just before and after a fork, or specifically after. And they're always placed evenly away from each other based off the appropriate level for difficulty of this setting. So good work, Panta. I'm really liking this stage so far. I would definitely rate this as being my favorite stage out of the bunch. And because there's a descending segment, there's a checkpoint. That's always a great idea. Alright, I made it this time. Oh my goodness, it took 20 attempts because of all the hitches in that last spike drop over here that caused me to keep dying. Oh my goodness, engine problems because the stage is so big. Oops. I didn't realize that this was considered the second fork. I thought the other one was the fork. I was supposed to go right over there, so I'll just use the level editor to go back. This is no longer the easiest pathway. Although, based off the spike drop and how many times I died, this certainly doesn't feel that easy. At least the checkpoints are relatively evenly spaced, and their checkpoint frequency is increasing based off of the difficulty of the challenges, so that I do appreciate. I don't know how I got this on the first try. I want a damage boost here, I'm not taking any chances. And I never realized that the hotheads have so much contact damage. Oh, and this is where the pathways link up to each other, I suppose. There's no way I'm going to play this stage again without using the level editor. I don't want to go through the struggle of going through the pathways over and over. I suppose this is where the first two forks link up to each other, and eventually we'll have another linkage with the other set of forks. This was the easier set of forks, and I took the harder one of the second set, that's why I got an M tank instead of an E tank. Oh, it's another windstorm jumping one, and now I need to orient myself correctly. At this rate, this will be the final level I'll cover in this part because it's going to take a lot of time to complete. And then I'll reserve the next part for the 3 or 4 levels left in my viewer submit queue. That seems to be a much better idea. After all, just think of how long the other pathways will take if this is supposed to be the easiest or second easiest. And suddenly I got hit by that wind tornado at the bottom. Alright, I made it this time. Oh my goodness, it took 20 attempts in this part of the stage. The amount of fun I'm having for this stage is quickly diminishing due to that spike drop problem. That was more of an engine issue, and now with this windstorm jumping segment because the precision involved. Another one. My level of fun in this stage is really going down. And there are 3 other pathways to go through. If this is already that difficult, I'm dreading figuring out how difficult the other segments are going to be, if this is already that difficult. And especially because the engine can be a little bit finicky of where the windstorms are going to go. I really wish this segment was a lot less precise. I really don't want to die over here, so I'll just try killing off this croaker and get past it. I really hope there's a boss fight coming up. I really want the stage to end because of how difficult it was so far. Oh, thank goodness. The stage got super difficult near the end following that spike drop segment. And his weakness is the perfect freeze, thankfully. We have infinite telly, so I'm just gonna stand by and spam my weapon and survive that. Okay then. He took a lot more damage from the perfect freeze that time. Well, that was Mega Raider. I realize the significance of the title now. Raider being we're raiding a crypt. I'll give this a thumbs up, sure, it's definitely a 7 out of 10. But I started to get out of my preferences when it got super challenging near the end, with that spike drop segment, and the part with all the precise windstorm jumping. But I will be showcasing the 3 other pathways, so I'll see you at the second fork. Alright, I'm actually back at the first fork, because I discovered something interesting, but we'll see it soon enough. So this is supposed to be the more difficult pathway to take. Well, the more difficult of the 2 so far, so let's see. And there's a checkpoint down over here. Because we start out directly with a windstorm jumping segment, unlike before. So this is definitely going to be a bit harder. Especially if we run out of windstorm energy. Or fall in the pit like I did over there. Hopefully there's some restoration of the large weapon energy. Those would be really useful. If there's one thing I really appreciate, is that Panta always put a lot of large weapon energy capsules in the areas where you're forced to use special weapons like here. So thank you for doing that, Panta. Really appreciate it. What I don't like is when the stage decides to stutter out at places. It really messes up my movement. At last I made this challenge. It took at least 24 attempts in order to get past. That's why I really don't like the more challenging tight court or windstorm jumping stages in Mega Maker, mainly because it feels like I'm always rolling a dice when I'm traveling downwards or falling downwards and dropping a windstorm and whether I actually survive or the windstorm decides to not appear. It just feels like the hitboxes with the windstorm are too uncharitable for surviving. That's why I don't like playing through these types of stages that focus on it. But to be fair, this is the alternate pathway, so I'm okay with it being more challenging. What I'm not so okay with is the fact that the main pathway loops up to that part, where it becomes a super much more challenging. It just felt like there was a difficulty spike for no reason. But that's now no longer a problem. And that alone is why I won't be able to do a 4th level in this part. That and the length. This is where the pathways link up to each other. The real thing about this stage is that we had the first pathway over there, and then we had the second pathway, and they loop up back over here, and then we have a split again at that next bend. That's what the level creator meant by saying there are 4 pathways. It's 2 times 2. It's not 4 completely independent pathways like I initially thought. So it isn't going to take that long. And of course I'm going to be using the level editor because I don't want to go through the stage all over again. So instead, I'll be placing Mega Man right over here and continue on the fork. That is, if I can access it properly. The left pathway from here is the harder one, whereas the one on the right is supposed to be the easier one, so I expect there to be a lot less spikes. And I can instantly see it's a lot easier because there's no instant death hazards. There is a lot more enemy spam though, so perfect time to use the perfect freeze. And never let go in order to succeed. And this is where the pathways loop up. It was the same length as the alternate pathway, but it was a lot easier, and we get an E-tank instead of an M-tank for our exploits. Unfortunately, here's where the difficult windstorm jumping segment occurs. After all the fire blocks, of course. I really wish that segment was a bit toned down and the harder parts were moved into the first segment alone. The more difficult fork, as you saw over there. But otherwise, I enjoyed the stage. Sure, it felt kind of out of my skill level, especially with the final part, this spike drop segment, which is glitching out a little bit in the level editor, and that earlier windstorm segment, but that was optional. Still, I felt it was well designed, and I do like their alternate pathways to expand the replayability of the stage. Although I would have preferred if some of the more difficult pathways actually had blocks blocking their paths to indicate they're more difficult. So this was certainly a fun challenge/fortress-based level. So good work, Panta35. And with that, I think I'll end off this part right now. In real time, it's 65 minutes long. So I'll cover the remaining 3 or 4 viewer-submitted levels in the next part. In summary, I would say that Mega Raider was my favorite level of the bunch, for being well designed even though it was more challenging, and an honorable mention going to Don't Play This Troll Level Vote Down by Joe. Sure, it was a troll level and I didn't get to experience over 75% of the level, well, maybe 60% if I'm being more conservative. Still, it felt well designed and each room felt unique and it had its own unique traps and gimmicks. Because outside of the gotcha moments with the spikes and bottomless pits, the stage wasn't that punishing actually. I expected there to be a lot more precision-based jumps, but no, there weren't. It was just a troll level in terms of placement of teleporters and spikes, but there weren't that many hard jumps or hard enemy placements outside of 1 or 2 places. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!